At the start of this series, I mentioned that adding modifiers to stairs is tricky because one of the rules is that when modifiers touch, they must be at the same elevation, and leaving a gap between modifiers can lead to unexpected results. The example shown here is less than ideal for stairs and a path that are both made of concrete. It would work if the stairs were stone slabs and the path were another material. In this example, the top tread and path are both 3 feet in elevation. The 3D looks pretty good. However, if I change the view to top plan, this looks like I have 7 risers. Now I can clear some of that up with good labeling. But one might misunderstand the line at the top as an expansion joint, which we wouldn't want there. So this method is good if there's a material change that includes a top of tread that's level with the path, in which case we would change the 2D attributes to reflect the change in material and include a double arrow to indicate that the transition is level. Let's look at what happens when we delete the top tread that's level with the path. I have my extruded stairs grouped, so to edit them I need to double-click to enter the edit mode. Then I'll select the top tread and delete it. Then I'll use the Reshape tool to reposition the path. The site modifier for the path is included as part of the hardscape object. By reshaping the hardscape, I've also reshaped the site modifier. I will need to reshape the site modifier for the stairs though. I'll make the site modifier's design layer the active layer and change the layer options to Gray Snap Others or Show Snap Others. Modifiers are one of the objects that can be tricky to click on. That's one reason keeping them organized on the same design layer is helpful. Also, if you have a modifier conflict and your modifiers are on different layers, it'll make problem solving that conflict even more challenging. So I'll reshape the modifier. Notice the slope definition didn't move with it. In order to move that, click the selection tool and reposition the bullseye. Let's take a look at it in 3D. The elevations are set to the top of the riser rather than the bottom. Let's change that. The elevation at the top is 2.5 feet since our top tread is no longer level with the path. And that automatically repositioned the elevation at end to 0, which is correct. Let's update this and see what happens. I have terrain crossing over my modifier, which is an indicator that there's a site modifier conflict. There are 2 ways to know when you have a site modifier conflict. One is it just doesn't look right, which is the case here. If I turn the model off, we can see that the site modifier is lined up with the bottom risers correctly. The second way is with the site model selected and the selection tool active, go into a top plan view. Here we see several exclamation marks. These mean we have the potential for a site modifier conflict. If we scroll down in the Object Info palette, there's a modifier conflict count. This count also indicates the potential for a conflict. In some ways, these indicators of potential conflict are useless because out of the 6, only 2 are real site modifier conflicts. So the only true way to know if you have a conflict is because the site model is not interacting with the modifier in a predictable way. The other thing to know about these conflicts is if you hover over them with your cursor, it'll tell you the type of site modifier conflict. In most cases, it will be because the paths intersect. So let's go back to a 3D view and discuss why 2 of the 6 conflicts are actual conflicts and the other 4 are not. Let's turn the site model off. Now we can see the red outline of the site modifiers on both the hardscapes and the site modifier objects. If the rule is that touching site modifiers must be at the same elevation, we can understand why the potential conflict where the sidewalk and stairs intersect and the sidewalk and driveway intersect is not a true conflict. All those elevations are set to 0, so the site model behaves predictably. However, where the site modifier at the top of the stairs and the path intersect, they are at 2 different elevations. The path is at 3 feet and the top of the stairs is at 2.5 feet. So the site model behaves unpredictably. It's basically confused. You've given it 2 contradicting orders. Does not compute.